Myself, Ramanand, I'm in technology from last 25 years. So I do work on development. I think almost 20 years works on development, another 8 to 10 years on corporate training. So I deliver many trainings like Python full stack, main stack, data engineering and data is our the target is to get into data and data science. So here we are setting the roadmap for AI ML. So the first course starts with some basics of Python we will cover. We will tell you what it is. Then we'll show something related to data analysis. Data analysis, we will start with the introduction of Python. We'll tell how you can do exploratory data analysis, how you can use pandas for data analysis, and how you can use the Python pipe and PDP pipe for data pipeline. Also, as a part of Python basics, you will know what is regular expression, something on natural language processing, and some of the important concepts where we can implement or we should know, and some real implementation of all these concepts, more like tokenizing, stemming, and anything on uh, part of speech, something on word cloud, something on summation, something on data classification. Lot of things are there, but we are going to show few code snippets, possibly for tokenizing, and to apply stemming and lamenting and all those things. And you will also know where and all we can use these applications. I think webinar may extend up to 2 hours, but we should restrict ourselves to almost 1 hour, 40 minutes kind of thing, so that if there is any question, we can always ask on that. So, do you guys know any programming language? Any programming language you know? Manish, do you know any programming language?
No, I'm not from programming background. I'm from
Oh,
infra background.
okay. Anyhow, here we will give very brief introduction to Python and what is how exactly you can install Python, or how you can apply control statements, how exactly you can write Lambda functions, how to use data structure of Python and all these things you will learn. So target audience will be any freshers, software developers, data analysis, and anybody who is interested in cloud and DevOps. So Python is so popular, it will be used everywhere. It may be used for web development. It may be used for configuration, scripting, and also used for AML by default. For data analytics, data computing application, Python suits very much. So let's start with Python. Python is a programming language, general purpose programming language, just like any other programming language. Okay, so it is a more general purpose means you can always try to develop anything with the basic programming language. Okay, Python you can use for web development. Python you can use for some of the automation and scripting admin activities. Everywhere you can use, and but normally people use for data analytics, data science applications. And it is used across industries for many retail applications, financial applications, and all. And the setup is very simple, so you can install it and do it. And who is using Python? Python is developed by Google. So Google use it. Meta means Facebook, Disney, NASA, banking and finance, gaming. All these people use this. Okay. When you talk about programming language, it starts with hello world program. You may define the variables. You will know about data types, right? You will know how to use conditional statements, how to use the for loop, while loop, do while loop, if else statement, for loop, while loop, and all. And also how to write functions, how to use comprehension. If you want to filter out the data from the list, you may use list comprehension. And if you want to avoid writing too many functions, if it is you want to reduce it to single line expression, you can use lambda expressions. And recursive functions, you can keep calling functions itself. So recursive function calls a function itself. And also as a part of regular expressions, you may know pattern matching, meta characters. What is meta character? What is pattern matching? Regular expressions. How you can use for data validation? Just you want to use email validation or something like phone validation. Anything for data extraction. You want to extract some pattern from the document, you can do that. So the next part will be data analysis. So now let us get into first part. First part was we told it is about the Python, and also we'll try to show you how exactly you can do simple expressions, how to use meta characters. So let us get into another slide of the Python. So here we have a brief explanation about the concept in this PPT, but another handout is there. I will try to show what you can do, but you cannot do everything here, but possibly you can pick up the handout, start following the directions. In case you have any question, you can always connect me. I'm trying to help on all this. Okay, let us bring another PPT as a part of coding snippet. This is where the programmers are interested. Okay, so okay, let us get into Python. If you are using Python, you want to use Python very easy, you can go and download Python from your Google, and you can use any latest version of Python, and you can install it on your Windows. Possibly, anyone interested can download Python in the background, start installing it. When you start installing, then you will get idle. Idle is for a development environment. Okay, this development environment you will use to write Python programs. So anyway, Manish and Shreyas, if you want, you can download Python and immediately you can install it on your Windows. And so they can try out few programs. Okay. In the meanwhile, let me open my idle and start writing simple programs, or I will show you. See, here is simple program. Say how to write hello world program, right? So how to input through keyboard. So let me bring up my screen. Idly here, I already installed. If you want, you can install it. So you can go to Python and install, and then you get something installed on the startup. So you can use idle. Can you see the screen?
Yes,
Yeah.
Raman.
Okay. Once you install it, correct, you get this in the startup or anywhere in your application, you will see idle Python. Then you can, so if your system needs 64-bit, you must install 64-bit. Okay. So you can install it, then you can start using it. So can you see the screen? So this is where you write your first program. I say print hello world. So this is your first program. Anywhere, everywhere, you will start giving sprint as the first program. So I will say one.py. You will start this R11. You can just say it's already there. So let me give some other name. One, I can say test. I'll say one test. Okay. So you can install. After installing, you can bring up the idle, then you can run your first program like this. Can you see the output?
Yes, Raman.
Yeah. So you can keep installing in the Google. Once installed, you can keep doing these simple programs. Whatever I explain, whatever I run, you can. Now let us get into next program. I will say I want to input through keyboard. Say KB input. So I want to input through keyboard. I will see in Python, you need not declare the variables. You can straight away start using. You can say input. See enter text. Hmm? You can just say enter text and start doing it. So then you can print it. Text. So this is your keyboard input. So now you can save this as to a test or whatever to avoid clash. So now you can run this. Now enter your text. Hello world. Now it prints. So what it's saying is it text next is there. So some issue is there in the program. Let me see what is the program problem. So you have to input EB input is equal to input you did, print text you did. No. Text is not defined because I'm using KB input, correct? Oh, what happened? I did KB input, but I'm giving text for printing. So it is your text input. So if it is your text, you give KB input. So it is KB input, not text. KB input. Okay, so that's all. You can run this, runs like this. Thus, welcome. Okay, so slowly you can get started and start reading some programs. When you talk about idle, it gives some different kind of colors for your strings, and it gives different colors for actual variables, and for comments, different colors and all. So this color coding helps you to understand the various problems. You can use idle. Idle as color coding concepts, debugging, auto-indent, interactive. So it is a simple IDE for working Python programs. In one case, you want to work on sophisticated programs, you can always use uh, Python or Visual Studio or PyCharm, so many things use. But for a beginner, this is always enough. Okay. So let us get back to the PPT. And in case if you have installed, you can try doing. Even if you can go slowly, it is going to help you because uh, I'll give the handout. You can always follow it. So you can do this. Okay. Anybody installed Manish? Have you installed? Shreyas, you already have Python on your system?
Yes, I'm using
Okay.
Python with PyCharm. I'm using actually for
So
an
PyCharm
IDE.
is a paid one, but you may have 1 month trial, correct? Okay, anyhow, idle is enough. Anyhow, it's up to you. Okay. So any new entry, who else has entered? Samrud.
Samrud.
Samrud,
Beam Patel.
so okay, I just started with the introduction. What is Python, where Python is used, and what we are going to do in this session, correct? And people who have not installed, they installed Python. I also told about Python, where it is used, and who is using Python, how to install Python, all these. And we started with simple two programs, one with a simple print message, another one with a simple keyboard input. So have you installed Python on your system? Samrud, do you want to install?
Sir, actually, I heard everything what you said from the starting.
Uh,
Uh, I also have I'm installing ideal Python
No
on
problem.
my computer.
Install
I
slowly.
actually use Colab usually, so
It is
now
up to
I'm
you. It is
Hmm.
up to you how you want to run the program. Even you can run through online editor also.
Yeah.
Online compiler also you can use. If there is something to install, you can just install, and I will give the handout. You can always follow and revise it. But if you can do it as and when I do, it is going to help you. Okay.
Yes, sir. But the only issue I'm facing is I'm not able to see your screen.
Others, how about Samrud? How about Shreyas?
I
Your
Can you
think I
screen
think
see?
is
I think
visible
only
for
I
us.
am not
Yeah,
able
yeah.
to see your screens.
Oh, what
Just
can
sign
I
out and
do?
sign in again. Just
Okay.
just sign out and sign in. You can see
Sign
the.
out and sign in again.
Yeah.
But slowly take time because all everything is planned. I'll give the handout aram so you can practice. But if you can arrange yourself and get into the pace, moment we cover 1.5 hours, everything will be covered. That is
Yes,
what
sir.
it is.
Yes, sir. Sure,
Anyhow,
sir.
as per your convenience, you can do whatever you want. However, let us get
Samrud, it's
into.
not an issue. You just sign out and sign in, and please let
Ah,
us know whether the screen is visible or not.
okay.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Do it slowly, no issue. Okay. So next part is see in Python. Python is a uh, dynamic typing. There is no static type or declaration of data types. As and when you assign the data based on the kind of data, it will take that as a data type for that variable. So that's why it's called dynamic typing. Now in this example, can you see this dynamic typing example? You can create a small file where you can assign different variables with the values. So if you assign an integer, it will be considered as integer. If you assign a decimal or a float, it will consider floats. If you assign a Boolean value true or a false, it will be taken as a bool. And if you take the list, it will list. So you can just see this and you can key in a few lines and maybe 2, 3 data types. You can observe once you run it, it is going to say the type of data, what you have. Based on that, it will say this is the data type of this data. Either you can name it as print x comma type x, or you can name print 2 comma type x. It's up to you. Pass the variable, it all depends what you pass on the type. Okay, type of variable. Whatever variable x, y, z you give, it'll give the data type of the variable. So you can try that. In the same program, you can do actually. There is no need to create separate program. In the same program, you can do, and it becomes a complete reference kind of thing. So there is no need of doing a different program also. You can do in the same program actually. Anyway, it's up to you how you want to do it. So suppose I say x is equal to 2.5. I will say print. I want to print what is the data type of this variable. Now I'll say print x comma type of x. Then it will print the type. I am giving only one type. You can always type other types. This is again 2.5. So 2.5, it is giving class name is float. On a similar line, if you type in for other variables, it will give the type of variable, correct? You can key in a string or you can key in list, then you can print it, and it will give the type of variable. So, okay guys, so let us get into next part of control structure. Control structure means it will control the sequence or the flow of program. Correct? If you have a bunch of statements, you can consider that statement or skip that statement based on some condition. Here we are using if and else statement. So I have two variables, x and y. Then I am comparing, is x less than y? So you just see any condition you are using, you have to use colon here. So this is also very important. So you can always try doing this. and you can run this anytime. No need to worry. So we have handout, but still you can run this and see what is the output of this. So either you want to write new program, you say compare.py, you can do that. Okay. And one more thing is, if you try to copy from the X PowerPoint or something and all, it may use a strange character. You may have to arrange. If you type in, there is no issue. So be careful when you are taking data or a text from the. Okay. Okay, so okay, run this. So I already told you this is for a test. So we will say three tests. So we on third program, we will say, and we'll use this simple if condition and see how it works. So there is something called something it's saying print. So here what happens is there is a concept of indentation. So indentation means you want to do something for the specific condition, then you have to put inside the tab like this. Suppose you want to add another statement for this condition, you can add it. Suppose you say print. Now you may say one more statement you want to do, you can do it. So just I am showing. So on similar line, you can do anything that comes should be in the same tab should be same. You cannot have different tabs. So let me run this. Now again here also I am telling you for if condition you have to move the tab. So one tab inside here again this. Now anything that comes under this is specific statement you have to put the tab. But here this guy is outside the condition. So it comes back to the normal. So a little bit you have to understand how to deal with the statements and how to deal with indentation. You want to execute specific set of codes, then you can use tabs. Suppose you want to put some other condition inside executes three more statements, then you have to further extend the tab. So you have to take care of that indentation concept. See here, compare done. One more, x is less than y. In our program, x is less than y. Okay, guys. So like this, you must start doing basics. And on a similar line, you can do for loop. And you can always use while loop. You can try for loop, just simple way. And you can also use while loop. You can use while loop. So while is something which checks the condition. If the condition is met, it is going to allow inside. Whereas the for it keeps executing for a specific iteration in while it checks for the condition. So please try to do this while loop, for loop also you can do easily. And it's up to you how you want to do it. But while loop, if you do for thing, you can cover. So here what I'm doing, I'm just inputting character. If the x is not equal to z, small z, then I'll ask for input. Because if you are in a loop, you will not come outside to ask for the input. So within the loop, you have to ask. So inside loop, I am writing again enter character. And again, I'm checking x equals z have you entered. If it is z, I am breaking the loop. Otherwise, I am printing it. So it keeps repeating until you press z. When you press z, it will come out of the while loop. Okay, guys? So this is your while loop. Let's see how many. So who is this BP? Beam Patil. Hello, sir. Okay, I started in. You can install your Python on Windows. Start doing, or I will give the handout. You can practice it. Can you install Python on Windows? Anyhow, so even if it's better if you install and start doing simple programs, or you can always do later with the help of handout, you can practice. Who is this SM? Samrud. Okay, Samrud, have you installed Python?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have installed. I'm
Okay.
practicing also.
You already have.
I'm
So
following
just
whatever
for
you're saying.
No problem. Whatever the programs, simple programs are there, you can just look into, practice. You get the handout. Again, you will get all the kind of codes what we are doing here. Sometimes you may not be able to do all, but you'll have handouts. Let's try to do as fast as possible. Who is this? Another yes. Who is this? Shreyas is there, VP or somebody. Okay. Okay, guys, try to do while program. Then you'll get into data structure. Correct? So in data structure, in Python, you have data structures like tuples, list, string, dictionary, set, and all. Data structure is to hold the array of data, set of data. So you need a tuple. So we have a tuple with round braces, and you can see that tuple can handle mixed data. It can store integer, can store strings, can store tuple inside a tuple and all. And dictionary, a string already you know. You can say in string is you can use single quote or a double quote. If you want to define a string, you can use single quote or a double quote. And dictionary, when you talk about dictionary, it is a kind of name value. So now let us try doing just we have to do small code snippet. Let us do this small dictionary program, how it works. Now I will define dictionary. Dictionary means name value, correct? So since I copied from the Word or a PowerPoint, it may give strange character. You must remove this, and then you have to write again. So okay, now if you want to print, you can just see print and see what happens. Print, then just see what happens. Whether I can print everything or its name value. So it is something is there is in quote. Okay, so now I will say here it is giving username and wrong and then password, another keyword. It's a name value. So dictionary stores name value, correct? It states names and value. So if you have more values, you can always print, say print. I will say d dot values. It will print values. So there are some APIs you can look into. So it will print values. Okay, see here values it has printed. Now you can always print the keys also and print d dot keys means it will print keys. And normally it prints items. Item means name value. Items. T dot items. How many items are there? It will print. And you can always override. You can delete. You can set the value to null or clear it. Everything. Lot of APIs are there. You can do it. I'm just telling just introduction. See here. So it has printed values. It has printed value keys. It has printed items. Okay, guys. So dictionary means it stores name values, whereas the tuple stores values. And tuple can store inside. And then there is a list with a square brace. Imagine what is the difference between tuple and list. Tuple is for read only. It can read fast. Performance will improve. You want to read only data. You want to do it, load it and simply read. You can do it with tuple. But if you want to do manipulate the data, you have to use list. Another thing is a list will have a lot of APIs. So a list will have APIs to manipulate. You can delete, seek for some item, and update all those things. You can update, read and write in list. And string, you can always do read and write. Dictionary, it can store name values. You can always try to use set. Set is also kind of data type. You can just do simple operation on set a plus b, a minus b, all those operation intersection. You want to do intersection, you can do simply, they say print a minus b, a minus b. It will do intersection. There are other operations you can look into. Right, I'm just doing this and closing it. So here it is subtracting the first part from the second part and giving the values. Okay, so you can always do this difference of that. Okay, so it is if 5 minus 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 is giving, you can compare and see what is the difference of these values. So, okay, there are some operations you can do on list. We'll not explore further too much. I'm just giving idea what are important things you should do it when you are planning to learn yourself. Okay. And just like how you did dictionary, you can always have some methods on strings. I may do simple string operations. Some of the operation you may do later also, but let me check simple operation and string straight away with join. And so join means it join all the words from the list and it will give a sentence kind of thing. Whereas the split means it will split this word and create the sentence. So you can always do this. Join and list, right? Join means you join all the words and I am storing the data in the list and you can store it in a variable and you can add and you can print it. Join means join the words. Split means splits the sentence into words and you can always give the delimiters here when you are storing and here in splitting it will split and give the words. So you can try this and we'll get into other concepts. Little bit fast you have to go, but still you have to do something. So keep doing this. Okay. Okay. Now, if you want to do some operation on a list, you can do some filtering and all. So now I have a list. Then I'm trying to do something multiplication square of each items, or you want to filter subset of the list and all. You can use comprehension. Comprehension means creating list from another list, applying some filtering or some conditions. So this simple comprehension is very useful. So you should know these concepts. That's why I have given this example. If on, you can always, you can just try doing this, something like this and do it. Okay. So it's simple list. Just it will square each item and give the output. Print and print I did not give. That's why it's not showing. Print you can give directly here. Okay. Okay, 149 it's giving. So it is squaring each of the items. Okay. And you can always do other program like this. You can apply the condition. You can check the condition applied and you get the value. So this is how you understand the concept of comprehension. Comprehension means creating list from another list. See here. It is applying conditions and giving the output based on x less than 3. Mainly only 2, 1, 2 is there and you are squaring the values, right? So here 1, 2, 3, 8 is there. Less than 3 means it will take 1, 2 only. And square of that value means it will give 1 and 4. Correct? So you should check that. Okay. So let us get into next concept. Functions. What is functions? Functions are reusable components. You need to use functions because you need not write the code again. You can reuse the code. So that's why you use functions. Functions are reusable components. Now you can check this value, check this function. I have a compare function. So you have to use def keyword, then you have to give the name of the function, then you have to use the variables, then ending with colon. Then whatever you want to do, you have to use again indentation and all, correct? A greater than B colon is there. So it is part of this statement. So it should be one tab inside. Elif is there, A less than B. So it is a part of this statement. It should be inside. You cannot start from the beginning. It's a part of this statement. So it should be one tab forward. Else return 0. So you can try doing this function. On a similar line, you can do a lot of functions. Okay, recursive function is there. And recursive means it will call itself. So one of the thing you do in recursive function is you are not going to initialize any values. If you initialize, things will not work because it is going to call the function again. So when you are writing recursive function, you must be very careful. Right? So I think there is some problem, and this is the function actually, but there is a countdown is there, but it's a countdown rec. Function name is countdown rec. So you can see how I can do function. I already told you this condition is part of this. Then again return 0, less than or equal to 0, they have to return it. Else you do this printing and keep continuing, keep continuing calling this function, right? So you keep calling this function. So you have to say else part. Then entire thing you want to do, you do here. Whatever you want to do, you do. Call the function. How to call function? Down. Say 9, right? I'll just say 9. Countdown rec is a function name, correct? So in that printout, in the PDF, I did a mistake in a hurry, so you can always do it. So now it's saying if something is there, what it is saying? Exceeding function or whatever, it should be part of inside, correct? Okay, now it is inside. Now it is inside. Now else also inside. It should be inside. Then you do this, correct? So you should practice this indentation. Correct? So it is printed. So are you guys following? Just doing whatever possible. Samrudh, Shreyas.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now let's get into another concept called default arguments. So default argument is something like if you want to define some initial value, you can define it. When you call that variable with defined value, then you can use that parameter or you may not use the parameter. Irrespective of that, it will take the default value. So you can just understand with this simple example where we have say message. I want to print message sometimes. So you can do this and say hello. And what is that you do? Say, or once you call hello, you are not passing parameters. That means it takes times equals 1. If you pass parameter, it will take 5 times. So whether you pass the parameter or not, the default value will be taken if it is not defined. If it is already used, then you'll take the latest value. So like that, you can always understand the concept of your inside. Then you are calling, correct? So this is what it is. So this is a very simple function. So you have only one, multiply that many times, print it. Here, everything is printing. In case you want to put this new line, you can always do that. So you can put /n here and keep printing. It should take. Correct? Okay. Okay, guys. So basic concepts are given. Default functions, recursive functions, then simple function, how to use comprehension, how to use join and split, all this. On a similar line, lambda. I already told you lambda. Lambda is kind of variable where it will take the compute the expression, get the value. Lambda is 1, it will avoid defining functions. If it's a single line activity, you can always use lambda function and compute whatever. And if you have a built-in functions and all, you can always use. So here is an example where you can use normal function. How you use normal function? You will say x power of 2, it will return and print f of 8, print. Otherwise, lambda, you have x equals x square 2, x square. So you do not write a function. You can straight away assign to a lambda variable. So like that, your work will be simplified and operation you will be doing in a single line. Okay, guys. So I have the lambda. I think there should not be any problem. So lambda is a variable which takes the computed value. And a variable, instead of defining function, you can always define lambda. Here it has got anybody waiting? Okay. If you had the idea, guys, lambda, you can practice, then you will know how it is. Okay. Okay. And that for your understanding, I will try to forward these codes, or you can always do it with handout. Either way is fine. Okay. Let me add these things in a chart. Okay. Only meeting, I think they have disabled the chat. Anyhow, I'll give the handout. Don't worry. They have not enabled the chat. Is there any way I can do this? I don't know. Okay. Anyhow, you can practice and possibly I'll give the handout at the end. Okay. Anybody waiting? I don't know. We are working on this meeting. What happened to this?
Like what you are trying to do right now?
I thought I can paste this into chart, but it is not available for
Select
me.
Control Tab from your keyboard.
Control
Tab.
Control tab.
Yeah.
I did it, nothing happened. Control tab. No,
It's not working.
no. Okay, no issue. Okay, let's get into next concept. To go modestly, you cannot be slow or you cannot be fast, because if you go fast, it becomes useless. If you go slow, it will take time. Okay, so try to follow this, whatever. Then if you start doing at home, you will know what it is. Okay, let us get into last part of the concept in Java, what we are trying to understand. So regular expressions. Okay. Regular expression is something where you want to process some text, find out some patterns, and you want to find some words starting with some character, ending with some character, or you want to find set of words with space or whatever, or you want to check email validation, some patterns, phone validations. For all these, you will use regular expressions. So important thing is to know about meta characters, pattern matching, and there is a library called RE, regular expression library you will use. So if you look at this example, Hello world is there, and I am trying to search for a regular expression where you have more than L plus. I want to search in a string where you have more than or one or more L, like that. So you can try to do this. You get the output for this word, and you can do, and a similar line you can do another other things. So okay, let me try this. Regular expression, you can search for a beginning character or something, ending with some character. All those things you can do. Okay. So let us see whether it can search for a one or more. You're saying something, it is to be part of the print, correct? Condition. So it is a indentation you have to have. So it is a strange character because I took it from. Okay. So here you can have anyhow, idea is to pick up the word which is having that more than one L. Okay. So there are one or more consecutive letters. L is in hello world. Yes. Okay. So I searched for a pattern where it has L plus. So there is some meaning L, and you want to enclose it in a, alphanumeric or oval A or you can use some square brace and you choose. You want to choose A or B or C, you can do any one of this. So there are a lot of patterns like this. You can search. So here in this you are searching for a word which starts with H and dot means anything. Question mark, it may be one or zero or more and E something like that. So you search for the pattern, you print whether it's there or not. Similarly, in this word, you see here in this, we have some values. So various in character words. In that I am searching for find all which starts with DRP and characters, correct? And it has only characters. So you can try this. Suppose I have this value. I am using this DRP. If you put in a square brace, anyone it will start with D or with P and slash W means word. So you can try this. And this is simple regular. See, regular expression you will not get straight away in one shot. Okay, it needs practice, but you can always try to understand here whatever possible and try to do, you will get it. Let's see whether. See here, DEF, DOT, PAT. It starts with DRP, right? It starts with DRP and characters. It should end with characters. You cannot have something and all. So DRP it should start and it should have only slash W means only characters, no letters. Correct? So like that. So like that you can try to understand, and you can have a split function you already done, or you can do it easily, and you can always search for this. So characters match caret slash D. Here you see caret slash D means it starts with a digit slash D. Caret means beginning. Wherever the word starts with decimal, and you print it. Now you see this slash dot means anything, dot star anything, ending with slash D. It prints the words which ends with D. You can do this actually. You can do this later. I don't want to spend more time on this, but you can always try to print the words matching with the beginning decimal and the word ending with D. /D dollar means ending with decimal. /D means beginning with D. Okay. Okay. So with this brief introduction, I think we took more time, but still good enough. So actually, we should take less time now. So anyhow, first part is over. Any questions you have, anybody in brief, you will understand once you get the handout and practice. So this is how you learn basics of Java, Python, correct? In short time, if you are learning this much, if you spend time, you can learn more things. But whatever I have done here is all important concepts, correct? Anybody there? Because I don't know. Okay. Okay. Anybody waiting? Whatever. I think they should call. Otherwise, I may be busy doing the session. Okay. Any questions you have, guys? Samrod?
Nothing as of now, sir.
Okay. Shreyas and who is this? Okay. Anyhow, you can practice this portion. We assume that we are through the first part of data analysis. Okay. So you can practice. Once you practice, you will know what are all things to do. Okay. Next part. So once you are clear with Java, use of string methods, use of the methods in the list and all, things will become easy. And only thing is you will pick up some data, then you need to manipulate. Well, okay, let's get into the next part. Who else is there? Samrud, what happened? You were able to see the screen at the end?
Yes, sir, I'm able to see the
Okay.
screen now.
Okay, so let's get into the next part. Okay. Okay, next part is data analysis. Now you know how you can manipulate strings, how can use a regular expression for a specific word, specific column, specific row. Once you pick up the specific row and specific column data, you can always manipulate, make it better. So data analysis is all about analyzing the records. You know Excel, right? You'll have rows and columns. So you pick up all the rows and process all the columns and each cell. So like that, you have something in Python as pandas. So if you want to analyze data, you can analyze data. You can analyze text data. You can analyze the table data, or you may analyze any text, any complex text. You may do statistic analysis. You may do text analysis like natural language processing, or you may do visualization of data. You may visualize data in the form of charts, bar, graph, and all. So exploratory data analysis is all about analyzing data in the record. The data may be coming from the Excel, data may be coming from comma separated values or any database. From wherever it is coming, you are going to store it in the form of rows and columns. Then you can filter out, you can manipulate, you can pick up the specific cell, you can update the data, you can trim the data based on string methods. If you are having a text, you can process the text, tokenize into words and all. So you do text analysis, you may do it. And table column analysis using pandas, you may visualize data in the form of that. Of course, there are many applications in data analysis. There are so many ways of data analysis. You may analyze text, you may analyze using machine learning, and you may analyze using statistic analysis. population, sampling of data and all. You may have to know little bit of statistics if you are targeting for machine learning, artificial intelligence, knowing about distribution, knowing about normal distribution, standard distribution, something on mean and mode, and something on standard deviations and coefficient correlation. A lot of terminologies are there. You may have to get into basic standard bell curve. In the statistics, you can search for a curve, bell curve information. How to understand statistics from standard curve or bell curve? If we give, you will get all the terminologies. That's where you start learning statistics. Okay. Then text analysis, we will do it in our natural language processing. Pandas. Pandas is for manipulating rows and columns data. If the column data is not trimmed, you can pick up that cell and trim the data. If the column name is not proper, you can format it. If the column name is with a lot of underscores, blah, 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 you can format the way you want. You want some dates to be formatted in some specific format, you can format it. You want to fill the missing data in the columns and rows, you can do it. You want to delete the data, yes, you can summon to some specific columns and filter it, you can do it. You want to visualize, you can visualize. So these are all things you can do with pandas for data analysis. Okay. Okay, let us start. So as I already told you, we want to start with pandas, right? We want to start with pandas. You need some data. You can always have some comma separated values like this, correct? You can have comma separated values or you store this information in a Excel file with CSV data. You put all the columns and data, and then you can load the data. You can load the data in your pandas. So how you can install pandas? You have to do pip install pandas. So you can always install pandas. Anybody not used pandas, you can always go to the command line and say pip install pandas means it will install. Let me show you. Just like this. I hope you can see the screen here. Let me do at the end. You can do this. Pip install, all small letter you can use. Pip install pandas. If you do this in your command line, it will install the pandas. Okay. Pip install pandas. You can go to your command line and give this pip install pandas. It will install your pip install pandas. If you do it, it will install pandas. And similarly, you want to install numpy, you can always do pip install numpy. Okay, then you want to install plotting, matplotlib. You may need all this. Matplotlib, you can do this. So time being, you can try to do this install on your command line, and it will install all this, and you can start working on pandas. Okay, you can pip install pandas, and then you can do numpy, then matplotlib, or you can see the example import is there. In the import of what we are doing, same thing you can use matplotlib, only matplotlib pandas. After installing, you can do import. Then you want to read some file, you can do this. Okay? If you have a comma separated value, you want to read the first 3 lines of the row, you can read through df head 3. You want to describe it, you can df dot describe. You want to see the information, df dot info method. All these things you can do. You want to do something, you can always use these methods, right? Suppose data frame you have df dot describe. After loading data, you can do all these things. df dot info. Want to see some information, df dot shape or something, whatever. So df dot shapes or columns. You want to see the columns, you can do columns. You can do all these things, okay? Df info, describe, info, and anything. A lot of methods are there. As and when required, you will do. You want to fill or you want to check the duplicates, you can always do this. Here are the methods. Here, drop duplicates. If you have anything, drop duplicates. You want to set something which is no values are not there, you can do drop these values. Anything, everything you want, you can do it. And you can do all this. And you want to convert some data into some format. Suppose you have some column date, you can always format date in this format, DDMMY format. You want the product name as a string. You want to treat the product name data as a string. You can do a type string. You want product category. Dear product as type string. Okay, so whatever is there, you can always do it, or you can always create a new column. Suppose I want some new column. This is called data engineering. So you have to say df month. Now I have a month. This is a new column. Now I can add and pick up from some other column date. You can do this. And you want to fill the month, you sold value with mean value of the data, you can store with mean value. Or you want to fill with zero value, you can do that. All those operations you can do in pandas. So here, first thing you do will be on in data CSV, you will have some file, you will store it. So I already told you, we have some set of data here. Same data, you can key in 3-4 lines, whatever you want, or you want this product line, online sale data, you can feed in, key in this data, then you can process, save it in a CSV file, then you can start reading. Then you want to clean it, remove the duplicates. You want to trap the nulls, you can do it. Or you want to convert into data types or specific thing, you can do always for a specific format. Or you want to create a new column, you can do always with. Suppose month is not there, you want to create a month column, you can do, and you can calculate the value and return it. Okay. Okay. Visualization. So now you can load the data. You can read the data, clean the data, transform it data. Then you want to load the data. You can load it means it may load it from the any database, or you may load the specific file. Then you can visualize it. You can send it for analytics visualization. Here. So I am using some kind of visualization. I want to plot it. You have to set some values. Okay. Average units sold as right. And you want figure size 10,5. See 10 rows, 5 columns. So you can just check the outputs and okay. So this is how you do analysis of data. You can set the data. Since you have all these are all methods, we have methods, right? Inside the method, you have done cleaning, you have done transformation, you have done and future engineering, visualization. All these methods you can call one by one, correct? Cleaning, data analysis, data visualization, load data, all these are all methods, right? You have the methods. You can always store this data, and you can call this for on the data frame. You can call all these methods: pipe, 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 pipe. What you are doing in pipe on that data frame you created, you call the methods. What methods you call? You call load. Load is the first thing you do. Load data. Then you want to do clean data. Then you want to do some kind of analysis. Then want to whatever operations you want to do, you are going to call on a data frame. So where is data frame? Data frame you are picking up from pandas. PD, right? PD dot data frame. You have a pandas as a PD. Then from that you create the data frame. Then use pipe. So it will analyze, it will give the output. Okay. So this is how you do analysis of data. You do data analysis. Okay, guys. So these are comparatively simpler when you talk about hardcore programming. In programming, you need a lot of thinking. But when you talk about the data engineering, or it's all process. You load the data, rows and columns, then you drop the duplicates, they have the null values. Then you want a specific column type to be created in a specific format, you do it. Then you do engineering with analysis with a new column, or you want to group the data. You want to group the data, group by month, unit sold, mean. These are all any engine. Any column introduced, any grouping, summing, all we do are all part of data analysis or data engineering. Then you do data visualization. So all these process, if you follow, you can run this application easily. You can do it. There is no need to do anything. As far as the procedure is concerned, you have to follow the procedures. What are the things to be done? When building a pipeline, you have to do ingestion. Then you have to do cleaning. Then you have to do transformation. Then feature engineering. Then data loading. Then visualization. Now you can always improve the process of this using PD pipe package. In PD pipe package, you can always do better. Or there are other cleaning tools you can use. And also you can schedule each of these operations using some scheduler like Airflow prefect. So when you are going for actual production scalable pipeline, you will use data loading through database, storing the data in a AWS S3, or scheduling the each and every operations through Airflow and all. All these comes under scalable operation. You have to operate in scalable. You want to work on a large volume of data. You need to automate the process. So for all these, you will use Airflow, then AWS S3 storage, and you store the data in database. You load the data from database. When you want to compute, when you say transform it, there may be a lot of things to do transformations. Then you may have Apache, Spark, some other data warehouse things like SQL, Snowflake, or when your data bricks, anything you can use when you have a lot of conversions, transformations. You may use a DWT, data builder tool, along with data warehouse tool, SQL, Snowflake SQL. All these are all comes under production, scalable and all that you will learn when you do actually data engineering, or maybe in the full-fledged course of data analysis. So this is what you do in this. I hope you understood what we are doing. Correct? Shreyas, you have any question?
No.
Okay, Samrud,
No, sir.
can you unmute?
No, sir.
Okay, anyhow, so as long as the people understood this, we have given brief introduction about this. Okay, so if you want to learn full-fledged, in-depth, we have a lot of procedures to do that. You can always get into the full-fledged course what we offer. But right now, anybody want to learn on their own, they may have to follow this procedure. It may be difficult, but you need to spend some time. Okay. Okay. So, Patil,
Yes, sir.
are you
Are
there?
you able to hear me?
Are you getting something out of this?
Yeah, it is good, sir.
Okay. Maybe I will forward this handout and anybody interested can practice. Okay, last part, let us get into last part. Let us try to finish in time, correct? Okay. Last part of the webinar is natural language processing. So as I already told you, text is got lot of information. You need to process it, right? You can process the text using natural language processing. You may pick up the email pattern, you may pick up the cell number pattern, or you may pick up 10-digit data, or you may pick up 1-800 number, whatever pattern you want to pick up, you want to change it, anything, everything you need to follow through natural language. Suppose how many words are coming in a text, how frequent it is coming, how many words are coming together, all these things under natural language processing. If you want to use speech, text to speech, speech to text conversion, for all these, they will use natural language processing. It will understand text, it will understand human speech, and you convert into language and process it. Okay. So what are all things you can do in NLP is tokenizing. So first of all, you have a sentence, you may have to remove the unwanted spaces or unwanted punctuations or anything like spaces, all those. Then you have to tokenize. Then you have something stemming and lamentization. So you may have kind of some similar kind of words like dance, dancing, dancer, whatever. So all these things should be combined together, treated as a single word kind of thing. So use a concept of stemming. Lamentization, once you collect from stemming, then you use lamentization. Lamentization will pick up all the similar words, convert into single word. You don't want to have n number of words. We'll minimize the words using stemming and lamentization. Part of speech. In your sentence, you may have part of speech. You categorize the sentences into nouns, verbs, adjectives, all this. So all this comes under part of speech. Word frequency, how many times it's occurring? 5 times, 3 times. Named entity recognition. It may be a person name, it may be a location name, it may be a country name. All these will be recognized with some kind of entity. So it's called name entity recognition. Concordance, collocation are all connected with words coming together, words with the next word coming together, or words together, 3 words together, 4 words together. And sentiment analysis. You may have to analyze the tweeters, how many people are positive about message, how many people are negative about messages, how many are neutral. You can categorize. So for all these, you will sentiment. Suppose you say, I'm a very good listener of some program. So it will understand your confidence level. So you do sentiment analysis, word covered under. So these are all libraries you use. Use libraries NLTK. You can just say pip install NLTK, then import NLTK. You can do Spacy, text blob, Genism, Keycat. all for manipulating the text, everything, all for text manipulation. WordNet, there is something, word cloud, many things are there. So you can start using codes. The main thing what you do in NLP, you pick up the text, categorize into words, filter the stop words, filter the punctuation, make everything lower letters, then pass it to the processor. What is that you want to do? Whether you want to create a frequency histogram, or you want to do word count, or you want to create a word cloud, or you want to do some kind of summation, or you want to do some kind of classification. For all these methods are there, so you can do. So these are all used in healthcare, medical, retail, finance. So here is a simple example. As already told you, in Java, we have something for splitting the word, something for joining the words. On a similar line, there are APIs available for picking the stop words. Suppose you want to stop words in English, you can pick up the stop words in English by importing this, correct? NLTK corpus import stop words. So it allows some methods related to stop words. So what you do from your sentence, you have to avoid the stop words. So you can easily avoid the stop words in your sentence using here word for word in words, if word not in stop words. It loops through all the words. If anything falls on the stop words, it will not collect. Then you collect the sentences and you check for punctuations, for one and close brace, hash, whatever punctuations. You will remove the punctuation also, right? You remove the punctuations. All these are string manipulation. We already done little bit string manipulation. Same way you do, and you return the word. Then you can send it for analyze. Now I want to get part of speech from the given words. Then I'll use POS under tag method. You can print all this. I am using cleanup method, whatever I built, passing the text. Then I am using word frequency. How many times words are coming? You can have a frequency counter here. Then you can find a frequency, how many times words are coming. 5 times, 3 times. One most common keywords, top 3 common words, 3 common words. All these things you use the methods available, nothing much in NLP. Frequency distribution, you want to do it for a sentence, you can do. And you can plot the graph. So all these are all there. So, okay, these are all some of the things you do. Frequency, punctuations, and all. Okay. I am giving brief introduction here. You can extend your knowledge. An important thing to do here is using your import word tokenizer. Import stop words. If there is something for punctuation or directly from string, you can use. And just like how you use normal methods, you can start building the methods, collect the words, process it. And you can always use part of these methods and stuff. Okay, so there are a lot of other things you can do, as I told you, but we are not going to deal all this. Only in our course we are going to deal, but you can always learn all this. Okay. Okay. So, okay, so as I told you, only thing is you must get started, start using the APIs. And once you install it, start using the APIs, you can do all these things easily. Tokenizing, stemming, elementization, chunking, chinking, all these collocation, concordance, sentiment analyze, word flow. These are all very basic operations. You can easily pick up some handouts and tutorials. Actually, you can learn these things within 1 or 2 hours. This is what you can do with this. So, what are the standard libraries used in NLTK, SPACY, TextLab, and all? So, as I already told you, this is used in healthcare analytics, media advertisement, retails, manufacturing, and all. So you already tokenize it, part of speech. I think we already done all this. Okay, guys. So with the brief introduction, with the time limitations, what we have, I think I have explained it. Possibly I will share this. Possibly in anybody interested, or you, if you feel that you are missing some handout or something, you can always contact me. Right? 988 6272 445 for handout. Or you want to see in and out about the course, you can always see in my Region Tech courses in edurn.com /region -IT. If you do this, you get all the course related to our Region Tech in EduARN. Okay. edurn.com, Region Tech, and you can always see, you can always go 9886272 for handout. You can connect me. You can do this, or I will try to send it in group. Either way, you can message me, I will send it, or I can send it. Better you message me, because I don't want anybody to miss. You can always send me a WhatsApp message. Okay. My name is Ramananda. Anything you want, and possibly we'll have future courses, future courses like machine learning for beginners, algorithms, concepts, right? All those things we'll have, and we have GenAI and all those step by step. Okay, so you can connect with me. And who is this last person? It is Subhajit Saha. Saha, you're late, I think. Okay. Can you unmute? Subhajit Saha, can you unmute? Okay, guys. So, do you have any questions? Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. You have any question?
No, nothing from my end.
You can practice. Okay. Samrud and Subhajit, you are late, but you get handout. You connect me and this number. I'll give some handout, and possibly it may be helpful to you. Okay.
Thank you, thank you. Actually, I just missed that one because I was having another office meeting.
No problem.
So I'm
I
just
know.
getting late.
Possibly we'll just have the meeting in a little 1 hour late. Rather than 8 o'clock, we must have it 9 o'clock. That should help many
Yes.
people. Whatever it is, you just connect with my WhatsApp. I think I will try to send a handout for you. Okay.
Thank you,
Samrud,
Rama.
Patel and Shreyas, I think we are almost done. Any questions you have, guys? This is a very hard training concept of doing webinar in 1.5 hours. But after careful analysis, careful introduction of some programs, we have come out with this because we have to do some courses in short time. So idea of working on webinar is to create some concepts, sample programs, use cases, so that we can do it in short time. Final goal is to reach towards AI. So you start doing with Python data analysis, then you learn machine learning for beginners, concepts, algorithms. Then you have Gen AI. Then Gen AI means generative AI. Then you have something on agentic AI. Then you have genetic AI. This is your roadmap for learning. You can learn in short time, right? In short time, you can learn learning yourself is very complex, but some of the programming things you can pick up before getting into machine learning. Hopefully, this Python data analysis material will help. If you add some more stuff, practice, we can get directly into machine learning and then get into Gen AI, genetic, because there are 4 or 5 modules. You cannot learn all the things module one by one. You can start learning Python in and out. It takes time. You want to learn data analysis in one time. Somewhere you have to learn some things really needed. Then you should be able to master it. Correct? So if you go through our links, whatever I'm talking, you can always get the idea of you can go through this link, Region Ditech, and it keeps updating every time. We have about 10 to 12 courses in our Region Ditech in data analysis, Python, and many things. It keeps changing, and we may customize on need basis. Anybody interested can get into this link. Possibly, you can learn fast track, correct way in short time. That's what you learn, correct? You go through this visual link. That is the best thing you can do. And more than that, whatever you learn today, you practice. And good luck. That's all I can do. Okay, guys. Okay, thank you for attending. Bye-bye. Okay, we'll end the program, okay?
Thank you, Rama.
Yes, sir. Thank
Okay,
you.
bye-bye. Connect me, I will try to help. Or you can join the course if in case you're interested. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.